Meghan Markle just made the most desperate move of her career. After years of staying off social media, she's back on Instagram with a carefully curated feed that screams damage control. But here's the kicker. While she's posting aesthetic shots of her perfect life, her entire team is quietly walking out the door. 4 staff members just quit in 2025 alone, and that's just the beginning of her problems. The woman who once had Oprah and Tyler Perry in her corner is now facing a brutal reality check. Hollywood's most powerful players are distancing themselves, and the cracks in her perfectly polished image are becoming impossible to hide. What started as a fairy tale transformation from cable TV actress to royal rebel has turned into a masterclass in how to destroy your own brand. The latest betrayal comes from someone she thought would always have her back. Tyler Perry, the man who literally saved her when she fled royal life, is now staying suspiciously silent while facing his own scandal. Royal experts are calling it a loyalty test that Meghan is failing spectacularly. After everything Perry did for her, the mansion, the security, the public support, she's nowhere to be found when he needs her most. This isn't just about one friendship crumbling. It's about a pattern that keeps repeating itself. Every powerful person who once championed Meghan eventually walks away, and she's left scrambling to control the narrative. The question everyone's asking is simple. How did the woman who had the world at her feet end up so completely isolated? Let's rewind to when Tyler Perry first entered Meghan's orbit. Back in 2020, when she and Harry were genuinely desperate, Perry didn't just offer help. He became their literal lifesaver. His sprawling Los Angeles mansion became their sanctuary, complete with private security that he personally funded. No questions asked, no favors expected. Just pure loyalty based on his mother's love for Princess Diana. Perry publicly defended Meghan when the media attacks intensified. He called out the racist undertones, stood by her story, and gave her credibility when she needed it most. On his SiriusXM show, he didn't hold back, saying Meghan was being dragged specifically because she was a black woman marrying into the royal family. That kind of support from someone of Perry's stature was invaluable. But loyalty is a two-way street, and when Perry found himself facing serious allegations recently, Meghan's response was deafening silence. The same woman who built her brand on speaking truth to power suddenly had nothing to say when her benefactor needed support. Royal experts are calling it self-serving behavior and a complete lack of moral courage. The timing couldn't be worse for Meghan's reputation. She's already dealing with another mass exodus from her team. 4 staff members just walked away from Archewell, the foundation she runs with Harry. This isn't new. It's part of a disturbing pattern that's been following her since her palace days. Remember the bullying allegations that triggered a rare royal investigation? The reports of grown adults leaving meetings in tears? The latest departures include key positions in communications and operations. These aren't just random quits. They're strategic exits from people who've seen how Meghan operates behind closed doors. Sources close to the situation describe a work environment where perfectionism crosses into impossible demands, where staff members feel more like servants than team members. What makes this particularly damaging is how it contradicts everything Meghan claims to stand for. She talks about empowerment, kindness, and lifting others up, but the people who work closest with her keep running for the exits. It's becoming impossible to ignore the disconnect between her public persona and private behavior. The staff turnover is just one piece of a larger puzzle that's starting to form a very ugly picture. Earlier this year, Brooke Shields made headlines for calling Meghan too precious during a panel they shared. The comment was supposedly deleted from the podcast version, but screenshots live forever on the internet. Shields wasn't just making a casual observation. She was pointing out something that many people in entertainment circles have been whispering about for years. The panel in question was supposed to showcase Meghan's relatability and down-to-earth nature. Instead, it became another example of how she struggles to connect authentically with people. Shields, who's been in the public eye for decades and knows genuine from performed, saw right through the act. When someone with her experience calls you out for being fake, that's not just criticism. That's a professional assessment. The "too precious" comment landed because it captured something people have been feeling but couldn't articulate. Meghan has this way of making everything about her while pretending to be selfless. Even when discussing serious topics like online bullying, she manages to center herself as the victim while claiming to advocate for others. Her Netflix show became another perfect example of this tone deafness. With Love, Meghan was supposed to be a lifestyle series showcasing her domestic goddess persona, but it immediately sparked controversy. The Le Creuset cookware drama might sound trivial, but it revealed something deeper about how disconnected she is from regular people's reality. During a time when families are struggling with inflation and basic living costs, Meghan's casually using $400 Dutch ovens like they're disposable items. When called out, her response was dismissive and almost incredulous. This is a thing. In 2025? That reaction showed just how out of touch she's become with the audience she's trying to reach. The Netflix series was supposed to be her comeback vehicle, a chance to show her authentic self and rebuild her brand. Instead, it became another reminder of why people find her so difficult to relate to. Every attempt at relatability feels calculated. Every moment of supposed vulnerability seems scripted. It's lifestyle porn, masquerading as genuine connection. But the Netflix problems pale in comparison to the plagiarism accusations that keep resurfacing. Multiple sources have pointed out similarities between Meghan's content and existing work from other creators. This isn't just about borrowing inspiration. It's about potentially stealing ideas and presenting them as original work. The accusations first emerged around her 2020 content, but they've gained new life as more people scrutinize her recent projects. Pattern recognition is a powerful thing, and when you see the same issues cropping up repeatedly, it's hard to dismiss them as coincidence. The plagiarism claims strike at the heart of her credibility as a content creator and thought leader. What makes this particularly damaging is how it feeds into existing perceptions about her authenticity. If people already suspect that your persona is manufactured, allegations that your content is also borrowed become much more believable. It's another crack in the foundation of trust that she's been trying to rebuild. The most telling sign of Meghan's falling status might be the silence from her former champion, Oprah Winfrey. The woman who gave Meghan the platform to tell her story to the world has been notably absent from recent conversations about her. No supportive social media posts, no quotes to friendly journalists, no behind-the-scenes advocacy. This silence is particularly significant because Oprah doesn't just accidentally forget about people. Her relationships are strategic, and her public support means something. When she steps back from someone, it sends a message to the entire entertainment industry. The fact that Oprah hasn't been seen publicly supporting Meghan's recent ventures speaks volumes. The 2021 interview was supposed to be Meghan's truth-telling moment, but as more facts have emerged, many of her claims have been challenged or debunked. The suggestion that Archie was denied a title because of his race was factually incorrect. Royal titles follow specific protocols that have nothing to do with skin color. The mental health claims rang hollow when both Harry and William had been mental health advocates for years. Oprah's distance suggests she might be reconsidering her role in platforming claims that didn't hold up to scrutiny. For someone who built her career on authentic storytelling, association with questionable narratives could be damaging to her own brand. The pattern that's emerging is both clear and devastating. Every powerful person who initially supported Meghan eventually pulls back. It's not just about differing opinions or natural relationship evolution, it's about a consistent inability to maintain professional relationships with high-profile allies. Think about the trajectory. First, the royal family, then Hollywood executives, now Tyler Perry and Oprah. Each relationship follows a similar pattern: initial enthusiasm, growing tension, eventual distance. The common denominator in all these failed relationships is Meghan herself. What's particularly striking is how these relationships don't just fade away, they seem to end with genuine disappointment from the other party. It's not just business, it's personal. People who genuinely wanted to help her succeed end up feeling used or manipulated. The entertainment industry runs on relationships, and burning bridges with people like Oprah and Tyler Perry isn't just professionally damaging. It's potentially career-ending. These aren't just influential people. They're the kingmakers who can open doors or keep them permanently closed. The staff departures, the plagiarism accusations, the failed Netflix series, the Hollywood isolation. Individually, these might be manageable. Together, they paint a picture of someone who's lost control of her own narrative. The woman who was supposed to modernize the monarchy and conquer Hollywood is instead becoming a cautionary tale about the dangers of believing your own hype. What makes this particularly tragic is that Meghan had everything she claimed to want. She had the platform, the resources, the connections, and the public sympathy. But instead of building something sustainable, she seems to have chosen short-term gains over long-term relationships. The fairy tale ending she scripted for herself is turning into a very different kind of story. The question now isn't whether Meghan can recover from this latest round of setbacks. It's whether she's capable of the kind of genuine self-reflection that would make recovery possible. The pattern suggests she's not, and that's the most damaging revelation of all. Her Instagram comeback feels like a desperate attempt to control a narrative that's already spiraled beyond her control. But social media can't fix broken relationships, and perfectly curated posts can't hide the reality of a brand in free fall. The people who matter most, the industry power players, the loyal staff members, the genuine supporters, they're all walking away. And perhaps that's the real story here. Not that Meghan Markle is facing another scandal, but that she's finally facing the consequences of her own choices. The protection of royal status is gone. The benefit of the doubt has been exhausted, and the powerful allies have moved on. What's left is just the truth, and apparently, that's something she's not prepared to handle.